Imagine you have a private network at home. This network includes your computers, smartphones, tablets, smart TVs, and maybe even some smart home devices like thermostats and security cameras. You want all these devices on this network to access the internet seamlessly, whether it's for browsing, streaming, gaming, or any other online activity. However, your internet service provider, ISP, only gives you one public IP address. This single IP address is what identifies your network on the internet. This is where Network Address Translation, or NAT, comes in. NAT is a crucial technology that helps manage the limited number of public IP addresses available. NAT acts as a middleman or a translator between your private network and the public internet. It sits between your private network and the public internet, ensuring that data can flow smoothly between the two. NAT allows multiple devices on your private network to share a single public IP address. This means that all your devices can access the internet without needing a unique public IP for each one. How does NAT work? Well, it translates private IP addresses into public IP addresses. Each device on your private network has a unique private IP address, which is not visible on the internet. When a device on your private network sends a request to the internet, NAT replaces its private IP address with the public IP address assigned by your ISP. This way, the request appears to come from the public IP address. This process allows devices on your private network to communicate with the internet using a single public IP address. When the response comes back from the internet, NAT translates the public IP address back to the appropriate private IP address and sends it to the correct device. NAT is essential for modern internet communication as it conserves public IP addresses. Without NAT, the demand for public IP addresses would far exceed the available supply, making efficient internet communication nearly impossible. Static NAT provides a one-to-one mapping between private and public IP addresses. This is a crucial feature in networking, especially for businesses and organizations that need consistent and reliable access to their internal resources from the outside world. This means each device on your private network gets its own dedicated public IP address. Unlike dynamic NAT, where public IP addresses are assigned on a first-come, first-served basis, static NAT ensures that each device always has the same public IP address. For example, imagine you have a web server on your private network. This server hosts important applications or websites that need to be accessible to users on the internet. You want this server to be accessible from the internet. Without static NAT, it would be challenging to ensure that users can consistently reach your server. With static NAT, you can assign a specific public IP address to the server. This public IP address acts as a permanent identifier for your server on the internet. When someone on the internet tries to access your web server, they will use this public IP address. This makes it easy for users to find and connect to your server without any confusion or downtime. Static NAT ensures that the server is always reachable at the same public IP address. This consistency is vital for services that require stable and predictable access, such as email servers, VPNs, and remote desktop applications. Dynamic NAT is similar to static NAT, but it uses a pool of public IP addresses. These IP addresses are assigned to devices on your private network as needed. Imagine you have multiple devices on your private network that need internet access. With dynamic NAT, each device will receive a public IP address from the pool when it initiates a connection. Once the device is finished using the internet, the public IP address is returned to the pool. This allows multiple devices to share a smaller number of public IP addresses. Section 5. Advantages and disadvantages of NAT. NAT offers several advantages. First, it conserves public IP addresses, which are a limited resource. Second, it provides a layer of security by hiding private IP addresses from the public internet. However, NAT also has some disadvantages. It can complicate network troubleshooting. It can also interfere with applications that require end-to-end communication. Section 6. Conclusion. NAT is an essential technology for modern internet communication. It allows multiple devices to share a single public IP address, conserving this limited resource. Static NAT provides a one-to-one mapping between private and public IP addresses. Dynamic NAT uses a pool of public IP addresses. PAT allows multiple devices to share a single public IP address using port numbers. Understanding the different types of NAT is crucial for anyone working with computer networks.